What makes a good smartphone? Is it a great camera? Or is it the display and how we interact with our phones in our daily lives? Or is it the battery life and how long we can stay on our phones? Or is it the justification of our choice and how we feel about those choices every single day? These are just a few questions I ask myself, and the S24 Ultra is not an exception. Why should you buy this phone? Or what makes this phone so unique? Why do people pick this, or why should people pick this over the iPhone? And better yet, why should you spend $1,300 on this phone when there are other phones that can give you better value? And the answer is, there is no answer. Usually when I start using a phone, the novelty is there. It is like this shiny new toy, and obviously everyone loves a shiny new toy. But after a while, the novelty wears off and you begin to see the cracks, or better yet, you begin to ask yourself if anyone should indeed buy this phone. And the S24 Ultra is no exception. I mean, just look at it. The entire body is covered in titanium, it is slightly lighter than the older versions, and it has a flat display, which in my opinion is something they should have done from the very beginning. These changes are great to some extent, but at the end of the day, this looks exactly like the S23 Ultra. Now, if you wanted to change your phone based upon the new design or the new form factor or even the color, it is not worth it. Even though design is important to me and most people, in this case, it is not enough. How I have interacted with the S24 Ultra is exactly how I used the S23 Ultra. Nothing has really changed since the S23 Ultra. Even the way I interact with the S Pen hasn't exactly changed. If I'm being completely honest, it is a very forgettable feature. I have used it probably 3 times or 4 times since I started using this phone. And obviously, I don't want to knock it down for anyone that likes it. It is pretty useful in its own way, but if you're someone like me, then the S Pen does absolutely nothing for you. And that's just the truth. Now, my wish list, if Samsung ever decides to go that route, is to give me a smaller Ultra phone without the S Pen and maybe a bigger battery, but then again, that is just the S24 Plus. Being a creator, especially a tech creator, when we get phones, testing out the display is very important. It is a love-hate relationship because we have to be outside all the time. It may be sunny, but my fingers are freezing right now. I think by now it goes without saying that this is one of the best displays in the industry. It has a high refresh rate, an AMOLED panel, and all the good stuff that Samsung have been doing for a very long time. But now it seems they took it to another level. The brightness from the S23 Ultra was very good. It was 1750 nits. This time, I'm guessing because of the Pixel 8 and the competition, Samsung took it further and made this a 2600 nits of max brightness. And you can see it at first glance. You can crank up the brightness as high as you want, and you have that vision booster feature, which feels like a backup power to your display. It's kind of crazy. Now, one thing I do love though, as much as this gets bright, it can also get very dim when reduced. The Galaxy S24 Ultra has the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, and my first thoughts were, it is pretty fast, it has all these AI features that are going for it, which I'm going to talk about very soon, but the battery life was not good. It is a well-known fact that I haven't had the best battery life or the best battery experience with the S24 Ultra, but I also admit it has changed over time. It basically went from 4 to 6 hours of screen on time to 8 to 10 hours in the span of 2 weeks after I made my first video. I'm also happy I didn't really need to deactivate any feature or limit my background of anything. So that was a nice to have. I guess the adaptive battery finally just kicked in, so it's better late than never. However, with these AI features, how exactly have they helped my life every single day? And the answer is 50-50. They're all great, but I don't think these are reasons why people will switch. I just don't think so. And I'm not saying I even have all the answers. Then again, I just feel this is how it's always going to be. iOS versus Android, Apple versus Samsung, and that doesn't sound like fun. This is getting boring, and we need something that is totally different. Over the last few years, it feels like smartphones have gotten so good that most of the time, the keynote is only about the cameras. Every single keynote, think about it, is 5x here, 10x zoom here, 120 frames per second, all that stuff. And when you really think about it, these numbers mean absolutely nothing to a lot of people. I realized what most people care about are Are my pictures going to be great when I take it in the daytime with my friends or even at night? Is Snapchat or Instagram going to work if I take a picture from the app itself? And of course, is the video quality better than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, or is this going to take better video than anything else? Let's answer some of those questions, shall we? Are the pictures going to be great? Yes. From the wide-angle lens to the ultra-wide lens and the telephoto lens, most of the pictures you take with this are going to be good. If it is a bright and sunny day, you begin to see Samsung's picture profile in full force with its dynamic range and saturation. If you want to take portrait pictures, going 5x might be the best route because it gives you great background blur with sharpness like you've never seen. The ultra-wide lens is a great camera to have when taking wider shots with friends or family, or maybe you just want to get more architecture. The next question is this going to be great for Snapchat or Instagram? And the answer is yes, because they now support the full camera quality of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. In other words, what you see is what you get. I guess that is great for content creators. And last but certainly not the least, video quality. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a $1,300 phone. It'll be an insult if the video quality sucks. But this shoots in 8K, the highest of them all. You can also go pro video if you want to control things like the ISO or your shutter speed and whatnot. So I ask again, what exactly makes a good smartphone? And that is a question you as a person need to answer before spending $1,300 or $1,000 on any other phone at the moment. For me, smartphones are at an all-time high in terms of their displays or their cameras, all the new features. But there is one thing a lot of companies are failing at, and that is battery life. I want us as consumers to reach a place where battery life is not a concern. That, coupled with the other features, I think makes a good smartphone. But like I always say, this is just one man's opinion, and I'd like to hear yours. What do you guys think about the S24 Ultra? Did I miss out on anything? Let me know down in the comments. Also, this is a new video format style. What do you guys think? Should I continue doing this? Let me also know down below. Thank you guys for watching. My name again is KJOS, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.